Scoochie. All right.
Welcome back to Table Talk, the only place where we talk about your questions via the hashtag Table Talk and the Reddit/r/SourceFed. I'm Matt Lieberman.
I'm Reina Scully. Whoa.
And this is Trouble.
Seriously, tantrum.
I'm trouble.
Well,
When I come into town, people counter in fear because
Counter
in
people
fear.
counter in fear. Those moments when you can't sleep at night, it's me, trouble.
Countered.
Actually, honestly.
Today's Table Talk is sponsored by these dumb mints. You ever had dumb breath and you want mints to make it better? We gotta eat like 20 of these during this
They're
Table
not
Talk.
dumb, they're lifesavers.
You know, they didn't save my life, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's true. Worthless. False advertising.
Yeah, more like life ruiners.
Right? But breath saving. Oh wait, that's a brand.
Hey, this can actually be life-saving because you might have better breath, and then you meet a woman, and she says, "Oh, his breath wasn't bad. I want to be with him forever." And you are with her for many years, and then you have children, and that child saves your life.
I think that life is more complex than that, but that's okay.
No, it's called the butterfly effect. Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton
Kutcher.
Kutcher?
I never saw that movie.
Wait, really?
No, I never saw the butterfly effect. It looked dumb.
Why is good? It's
never
just a
seen
fun
any movie.
ride. It's just like a fun little amusement ride. Like a kiddie amusement ride. What are you
trying
doing
to pull
right
your
now?
face off, or?
No, I'm trying to put it in my mouth like that.
Oh my god, I can grab it through his cheek. How disgusting is that?
Oh
You
my
can
God,
feel
is this what tumors are like?
Yep.
That's nasty. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, get yourself
You
a
guys
topic.
say the thing that
Reina.
everybody else says with the r/Reddit/SourceFed/
We did that. We did that, buddy.
Did that, did a bit, introduced ourselves.
We're
Grab your
good.
sheet.
I'm
And
trouble.
I have a tumor.
Okay.
Did it
How dare
work?
you.
Is that how you remove tumors?
That's what I suspect.
That's what I've heard.
Gerardo Chavaria
Chavaria.
goes, SourceFedNERD, if you were a serial killer, I love this question already, what would you leave behind at every crime scene as your signature?
One of
I.e.,
these-
what is my MO? Oh no, signature's different than MO.
Yeah, one of these dumb mints.
Would you? Oh, which
Yeah.
is ironic because they say lifesaver on them.
Exactly.
I see.
They couldn't save his life or her life or anyone's life because I took them.
I don't know.
Signature.
Let's first of all, I'd like to point out the fact that I'd never be a serial killer.
Yeah, you can't.
I mean,
It's not in you.
It's not in me. I don't like murder. I find it wrong.
I love murder.
Don't get me wrong. I get over it really quickly. I mean, like if somebody needed to be murdered,
Wait, what?
if somebody needed to be murdered, I'd do it. If you were like, this guy needs to be murdered.
Then you're fine
But
with
you're
it.
against the murder.
But it's the act of murdering. Like me getting the gun in my hand, I just couldn't.
It doesn't
do
have to be a gun, it
But
can be
once
a
I did
knife.
it, I would feel bad about it. I'd be like, well, he
But if you
needed it.
couldn't do it, then you can't get to that next step.
I'd say I don't know which would go first, your spirit or your body. And then
Oh.
did I misquote Bane just now? But he does this in the movie. I've been doing this a lot to people lately. I don't know how many people.
It's so-
I went.
They don't know
It's
what you're
so
doing.
uncomfortable.
They
I
think
started-
it's just you.
Yeah.
I started
doing you.
a couple of weeks ago. I went to a party and I was like, I'm just gonna do this to people and see how many people know what I'm doing. One guy was like, "Oh, that's Bane from Dark Knight Rises." I was like, "You're right, you nerd," and I beat him up and gave him a swirly.
Okay, instead of being really impressed.
I didn't answer the question
Have
at
you
all.
ever fresh eggs somebody? Fresh eggs?
Please tell me what
What?
that is.
What's that?
It's this dumb thing that my old roommate used to
Lieberman
do.
was a bully in high school.
No, my roommate used to do it, and it's just this.
Oh no!
It's like so.
all of a sudden?
It's just weird. Yeah, it's not even like super annoying or painful. It's a very
It's not.
strange feeling.
That's
No, you
it?
gotta get the Adam's apple.
But
in
I don't
there.
want it.
It's like
Why am I tapping it though? That seems
it's
violent.
dumb and has nothing to do with fresh eggs. So why is it called
No,
fresh
it's
eggs?
like an Adam's apple, as you can see on Reina's. It's kind of like an egg.
I'm a man. Nothing's happening.
You really don't have an Adam's apple.
No shit.
She's a lady. Whoa,
let me see it.
whoa. She's a lady.
Like, look at it
Talking
from
about
the
that
side.
little lady. That
There's
lady
nothing here.
is
Yeah,
not
duh.
any of ours.
Check
Ladies
mine.
don't.
Check for mine.
It's right here.
It's right there. It's very prominent.
Ooh,
Does it make me a strong individual?
This is where all your testosterone comes
I'm
from.
a boy. That's a song.
Okay.
what was
Serial
your
killer
calling
MO. I don't know. Something about.
Leave DVDs of your favorite anime.
Oh, that'd be so obvious in every single way.
The anime killer.
Yeah. Oh, actually, that's not bad. Or mangas. Mangas would be more like it. I don't have any anime DVDs. I just watch them online.
I don't really own. You know, my thing in life is not owning things.
Yeah,
so,
that's
like,
true.
I wouldn't have it.
You would just write weird, like Enter the Void.
Oh,
Enter the Void.
I'd write
Enter the
void on the forehead of all
the-
my.
Oh, because they got
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
voided from
You got
life.
voided.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was way cooler than we thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Think about
you
that.
didn't void it.
Awesome. I really enjoyed that one.
What was yours,
like
B?
serial killers.
I already said it was one of these dumb
Oh,
myths.
yeah.
Which is ironic. We live for irony.
This isn't gonna hit it. Oh,
Oh my
you had
God,
that
so
right
close.
here, you would have had it.
So close.
Oh.
All right. David A. Martinez writes at David A.M. Since when did it become rude to call someone sir or ma'am? I had 3 older guys at work ask me to not call them that.
Not call them sir?
Not
Yeah.
call them
I
sir.
didn't know sir was negative. I know ma'am has kind of like you're an older woman connotation
Yeah.
and you're not supposed to guess a woman's age, so I do
yeah.
get
Right.
that.
I always call women when I am like buying things ma'am, and
Ma'am?
they always get upset about it, and I keep doing
Why,
it.
though?
Just call
They
them
should-
miss.
Because I'm
No,
like,
screw that. They shouldn't be mad at it. I do it too. Like when I worked at a restaurant.
that's because you were born 80 years old.
Yeah, I know,
So
I
you're
really
expecting it.
I really was. But I do it to everyone, and if they get mad, I'm like, I'm sorry, are you not a woman? I don't go that far. But in my
no,
head,
that's
the
pretty
mental,
fair.
the mental
Excuse
dialogue,
me.
I'm sorry.
Are you not a woman?
Do not have a
I
vagina.
can you imagine if you actually said that to someone? If they were like, if they gave you a little attitude, and you were like, I'm sorry, are
I'm
you
sorry.
not a woman?
Are you not a woman?
And they're like, how'd you know?
Because I'm not a woman either.
Are you?
Consensed. It's weird.
Do you have tape that seals up your watch?
It broke.
Oh, Will,
broke.
that's
Oh, Will.
Why you gotta put me on blast?
I'm sorry, I've just never
What was
seen
the point of
anything
putting
like
me
it
on blast?
before. I've never seen anything
Transition.
like it.
Why did you put me on blast?
Transition.
You want it? Well, it's kind of stuck, and it'll probably break my watch if I take it off.
Oh my
you
gosh,
guys.
no, it's like the actual
you
layers.
can stop. Hello, you're
Stop
making
it.
it
No.
worse.
Why you gotta put me on blast?
Now
I'm
it's
sorry.
just dirty. I'm taking this off of you.
I'm a little bit hyped up today because I just had lunch.
We just had lunch, so we're crazy.
Yeah.
What'd you guys eat?
I didn't really even get anything. I was just at lunch and I had a riveting conversation with my friend Aaron, and it was like, whoo, watching him eat that Subway sandwich really got me going.
Oh, I see.
So
It
I'm
filled you
on
up.
one today. It filled me up. You ever have a conversation that fills you up mentally?
Where'd my topic ball go?
Oh,
Can we find it?
oh.
I forgot what the question was.
Transition.
What was the question? Oh, sirs and ma'ams. Right.
What's the rule?
Like,
What's
when-
the Lieberman
when did it
opinion?
become-
Well, here's the thing, right?
Rude.
I've discovered, as I'm thinking about it, I mostly call homeless men, sir and ma'am.
Like, excuse me, sir.
Like, I'm sorry, sir. Like, I mean it as a sign of respect. Like, look, I wish that I could do something, but I don't have anything to give you right now.
Right, okay.
I'm sorry that you're in this position. I
I'm-
want to treat you like with respect. But if I'm only doing it to like,
Dismiss
Yeah.
it almost.
No, I'm absolutely sure they go back to their box and they're like, he called me sir.
no, I
And
feel
he looks
like
at,
they don't.
Like
he
a
looks at
real
his
individual
looking
of
broken
society.
glass. And he's
No, they
like,
go back to their box and
he
they're
fixes
like,
his clothes.
who does he, sir? Who does he think I am? My dad? No, you know.
Yeah, I've used that line. I honestly really, I don't know why, but I don't like being called sir either, because I don't
Well, you're
really.
really
It's
young.
weird being called sir.
It's sir. It's like who I am, and every time they call me sir, I'm like, oh, I'm not, or Mr. Hanson, like that's not me, that's my dad, and then I make it all
That
awkward.
joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. It's just something that we as a society we're afraid of getting old.
We
Well, I
don't
think
like
it's
it?
I think it's the maybe like not this generation, but the generation before
us,
that
definitely.
where it changed,
Yeah.
where we didn't want to be respected in the same way. We didn't want to be a part of the machine. We started celebrating individuality and identity, and also I think youth more than ever before.
Yeah, it's very Generation
So,
X.
you know, it's just sort of like, like, fuck you, mom, fuck you, dad, I'm not a
I'm not
sir.
like you.
Yeah, I'm not a ma'am, I am a miss.
But I feel that's so. I'm never offended when people call me ma'am. I'm like, yeah, I know. You're just trying to use like.
I think you have a God complex.
Why?
I think you want to be over people.
But
never get one of these,
I
never.
just didn't think it was rude at all. I thought that was the respectful way to
Address.
address someone.
I just
yeah.
remembered I was wearing a tie all day until just now.
And now, because you did the homeless man
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So now it's all awkward, but cool. Yeah.
Sir?
See, he doesn't mind.
Yeah, he does.
Lifesaver
picked up.
says. Just kidding.
Oh God, we still have to eat like 20 more of these.
Yes, we do.
Claire Grossi says, if you jump and land a critical hit, I'm sure someone's already done that joke. I
Yeah,
just
no,
wasn't there
it's,
for that.
Peter Marquez writes.
Claire Grossi says, at Claire de la Lune, she says, do you remember the moment you realized adults don't know everything / don't have their stuff together? Discuss.
Oh, that was a really big revelation. I wonder when mine was. Mine was definitely in regards to my mom. I realized she was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
How did
Yeah.
you realize she was crazy?
Okay, so my mom has always been super sound and intelligent, and she, a single mother, single daughter, so she's like the only, what is it? She's the only parent that I looked at that I knew was like always 100% right. Like I knew my dad was like a little bit wrong. But then in high school, or towards the end of high school, I think she said something to me like, Reina, your aura's a little bit off today, honey.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what did you say? And she's like, I can sense that your aura isn't blue. It's actually a little bit red today. And that's when I was
Say that in Japanese.
レイちゃん、なんだかおかしいんだけど、今日オーラがちょっとおかしくない？普通青のはずなのになぜか今日はちょっと赤なんだよね。And I was like, Jesus, you're fucking weird.
Yeah,
Say
if
that
I
in
heard that, I'd be
Japanese.
like, that's weird too.
畜生、お母さんマジ変だよ。
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a real conversation.
I love
real
that you can
excerpt
do
from my
that.
life.
That's my favorite thing about you as a person is that often when I ask you to switch the language and you do,
できるよ、たまになら。
that's freaking cool. But
めんど
yeah,
くさいけど。
I don't know.
コクです。
コクです。コクです。
I've kind of always known that my parents don't know everything. Like, what I especially know, I was talking to my mom on the phone yesterday, and she's like, my mom only watches the videos from here that had me in the thumbnail, so she's only seen like table talk and like
That's very
and
mom.
bloopers. She's only seen table talk and bloopers.
That's
Oh,
funny.
that is not a good
And-
representation of
yeah,
who you
exactly.
are.
And I'm like, those are the worst things to watch if you want to see like the good stuff that I'm trying to do.
She should watch your videos
yeah,
on your channel.
I tried to email her. She doesn't understand it at all. But she was like, she said yesterday. She was like, that dude with the beard. She said, I don't like him at all. Don't let him touch you. My mom is wrong, and my mom has not seen this.
Steve touches
Oh my
Will
goodness.
all day long. He'll do it because it's you, and he's basically your pet.
And you two are my pet, Steve.
My buddy.
My buddy. Wherever I go, he goes. I
a lot.
touch you.
Yeah, just a moment. I was
than you
watching
know, Mama Haynes.
I was watching a show in the little green room we have with a TV for the show that DJ and I do, the superhero roundup. And you and Steve just kind of walked through the room and then just sort of like walked up into the door and just kind of kept walking against the door for like a solid 2 minutes.
Yeah, we were also
Yeah.
breathing really hard on it. While I was doing that, usually when I'm doing that, as I always say, is I go into the void and I stop thinking about what I was doing. But as I was doing that, I was thinking, regular people don't do that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, they're very conscious at all times.
Regular people are like
They don't
walking
enter
into
the void randomly.
Yeah, it's kind of I kind of don't really control it anymore. Just Steve's touch makes me go into the void, and it's like I empty, my eyes change color.
Oh, whoa.
They go black.
Shotgun? Oh, no.
Yeah,
Black,
that would
okay.
be red.
Yeah.
And then here comes the sun. But what were we talking about?
What's happening?
Yeah, my mom said that. My mom always says that when I was a kid, I would always, whatever they tell me to do, I do the opposite.
That
And I
sounds like
say,
you.
That's not true. It's not that I do the opposite. It's I always just do whatever I feel like.
Oh,
Which
it
is
just
kind of a
happens to
bratty
be
thing to
the
me to
opposite.
do. Yeah, it just happens
Yeah.
to be the opposite.
Okay.
I just, life is too long to spend it doing what other people want you to do.
Too long.
Yeah.
People think life is short. I've been alive for 20 and a little years, and it feels like forever. I gotta do this 4 more times? I gotta do the 90,
Yeah, bro.
Maybe
the
5. Maybe
gotta-
5.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm trying to do this 1 more time. and
BT
that's
dubs,
it.
it goes so much faster after you turn 21.
Yeah.
The time moves so much faster.
Cause you don't like once you're an adult, the milestones are gone.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just the year
Yeah, I
just
just hit the
flows
last one.
by.
And if you notice, you have all of your growth happen very quickly in life, and then everything plateaus, and then you age, like very well,
I'm not
not
looking
slowly,
forward to
but
that.
you don't mature anymore. You mature, you plateau, and then you age.
Did I tell you like I was a little bit scared about getting older until like for people be like I did this bit where I remember you put all that white stuff in my hair.
Oh yeah.
And then I was it's actually red stuff or pink stuff, right? But it
No,
looked
it was
white.
it was white stuff because it was like face stuff.
Yeah, and I was, and before that I was like, oh man, I'm gonna turn 21 soon. I'm so like I don't want to get old, and I
Yeah.
put that in my hair, and I was like, I don't look that bad as an old dude.
I look like a silver
all
fox.
right. I said I'm gonna be a silver fox someday, and I was like, I'm over it.
I can see you someday like at a brunch place by yourself on a patio fucking with teenagers. And
Teenagers.
that just
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
wonderful.
I've always hated teenagers, even when I
Excuse
was a
me,
teenager.
son.
Me too.
Excuse me, son. You ever entered the void?
No, if I'm a
Would you like
really
me
old
to show you how to enter the void?
if I'm a really old dude, like I'm in like my 70s or 80s,
Yeah.
I'll see a teenager and I'll bump into him and then fall to the ground and be like, oh God!
You better have a lawyer.
Oh!
The humanity! Oh!
And I'll show like a scar I got from something years ago, and I'll be like, look what you did!
Oh, I'm having flashbacks, Steve!
Vietnam! And they'll be like, oh no, he was in the Vietnam War. I'll be like, you idiot, that was years before I was even
years.
alive.
And your voice would go back to your voice
and then,
right now.
Like, oh, call me. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm trying to think of when it happened for me, cause like, okay, here's what it is, and sorry, Mom.
This is a good story.
Yeah.
This is juicy.
We're listening to this.
Well, no, just once when I was in high school, these kids got busted for smoking weed across the street from school, like behind a grocery store, and the vice principal caught them.
What are we talking? Purple sativa?
I have no idea what.
I have no idea.
Probably
what
purple.
Hybrids.
Purple.
Probably
Yeah,
purple. I
Probably
have no
something
idea what
purple.
the difference is.
It was New Jersey. It was just weed. Was just weed.
Oh, that means it's dirt.
It's dirt weed.
That means they're smoking dirt.
So I tell her, because a few of them were my friends. I tell her who the people were that got busted, and one of them was this kid who let's just call him like Jonathan Levine, which is not his name at all, but he was a Jewish kid who like everyone knew wasn't necessarily a Rhodes Scholar. I mean, he was kind of he didn't care.
If somebody was gonna be smoking weed, it was gonna be Jonathan Levine.
It was gonna be Jonathan Levinstein, and my mom was just kind of taken aback, and she was like, Jonathan Levine, he's not black, and my mind exploded into 1,000 pieces.
It should.
Because never before had I ever heard anything that was even remotely like backwards ass or like racist or anything come out of my mom's mouth. And
But that's not really racist. It's,
it's
what is it? How do you describe this?
it's pretty prejudicial.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
It's just basically like that a Jewish kid wouldn't be caught dead smoking pot, like that kind of like.
She hasn't seen Harold and
Oh my
Kumar?
God.
It was before that.
Oh yeah, huh, yeah.
And neither of them were Jewish.
no,
were
but they
Asian
had
and Indian.
Goldstein was his
Oh, yeah,
name.
he was Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Solid
So that was the first time I was like, what else is my mom like weird and wrong about?
Yeah.
And then that whole hole started to open. And then I was like, oh yeah, my parents aren't perfect.
That time she put you in that bathtub and you got hypothermia.
I mean, come on. Yeah, that was a really traumatic experience.
I can't.
And she thought that I was having a seizure when blue lips has nothing to do with having
just
seizures.
means cold.
Just means cold.
Just means you're
Just
freezing.
means you're cold.
I guess that is a pretty good example of knowing that your parents.
Yeah, that's an
don't know.
excellent example. That's very legitimate. Yeah. Because for me, it was definitely like I was under the delusion that my mom is completely moral, knows everything, and is very correct, and then suddenly I was like, whoops.
Yeah.
But yours is very much her describing something completely incorrectly.
My mom's
or being not delusional.
My
but-
mom still tells me that like she's always right. She's always telling me like, you know, she's always gonna be right. And she says until the day one of us dies, she's always the mom and I'm the son. I'm like, you right. Yeah.
I like that. There's something sweet about that.
Yeah, I always say,
your mama.
my dad is like the closest example I could say to my dad is Samuel Jackson in Avengers. Nick Fury in Avengers is every time I watch any movie he's playing that character and I'm like, this is my dad. This is my dad completely. Because he's just freaky. He's bald and he's always watching you. That is my dad.
Only met your dad for like a second.
Me too.
And I immediately fell in love.
He was fantastic.
He's such a wonderful character. He's got so much, dare I say, swag.
Wait, were you there when he invited all of us to go to the parade with him?
No.
Oh, okay. That was great.
Wait, tell the story.
I was like, you know what? My dad's in LA. I'll invite him on down to the studio. And I always think that's a good idea until my dad gets there and I'm like, oh no.
It was a great
And
idea.
He's a motherfucking star.
My dad dresses up in like these outfits that I've only seen once.
It was all orange.
like Shaka Zulu or something. I don't know.
Stop
I don't
it.
want to know. And when he and these other dudes like and these like and a whole bunch of like girls like dress in these outfits and then like they go
they
over
dance in the parade.
and he does like really masculine dances like ooh doo 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 and he's like, all right, y'all, I want you guys to come on down to Glendale or wherever this friggin' parade is. And I want y'all to see it. And everybody's like, Will, are you going to parade to see your dad? And I said, no.
No. Yeah,
I
you
love
did.
my dad, but I will never go to this parade.
And then he like grabbed you by the shoulder and he's like, why not? Let's go meet some ladies.
Yeah, I'm like, Daddy, no. And
It
then-
was excellent.
And that whenever my dad's around, I go right back to how I was in high school, and I'm just like, oh gosh. My dad will always like outdo me like in craziness. He can outdo Steve if he wanted to. If he wanted
Ooh.
to. If my dad wanted to, he could outdo Steve, but.
We have to have your dad on
Please
Table
accept
Talk.
this challenge.
We have to have your dad on Table Talk.
know
That was
if
going to be a thing at some point. Why didn't it happen?
I don't know.
Parents
Yeah,
join in?
yeah.
No,
my,
just
my dad was
his
not.
dad.
Just-
But yeah, I don't know what happened. But my dad's different because like the different outfit he wears is a different way he'll act. Because he has like a bow tie and a suit, and he'll act like, oh well, you know, this quarter, this did this and this. But when you saw him, he was wearing his FUBU outfit.
Wait, was he just doing a Korra review?
Yeah, did you just say Cora?
No, I said this quarter, like quarter.
Quarter.
I thought you said,
okay.
no,
Yeah,
Korra
no,
did
Korra
this,
was
this,
like
and
this.
No, that's when my dad wears his daishiki.
No!
My dad. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. My dad doesn't know everything,
Okay.
and he never
I think he
will.
does. I think he might. He might know everything.
You might know
My
everything.
dad is a mythical beast.
Fire that.
That's the closest I've ever gotten.
You want to hit another one?
Let's just do one more quick
Yeah,
one.
another
Let's
one.
do
Quick
another
one.
Quick one.
Okay. Okay, and...
Switch seats with me. No.
No.
Switch seats with me, Lieberman.
Okay.
I just got bored of being here.
Okay.
I like to change things every
Here,
once in a
Reina, read
Cheers.
this.
Okay, cool. What is the best and worst concert you have ever been to?
Ooh.
Yes!
You really want this one?
Yeah, I really do want this one.
All right, go.
It was my first concert ever. My first concert ever was a Marilyn Manson concert.
Whoa.
And
It was your
it
best
was-
and your worst?
It was both. It was first, best, and worst.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell it all.
First, well, yeah, okay, obviously it was my first. It was the best because it was really, really hardcore, and I got to dress really crazy goth. I even spiked up my hair, so my hair was like this tall, and I like dressed incredibly, and I spiked myself up and whatnot.
Will just
I
had a
was-
moment.
I was.
I don't like this version of you.
I was
think it's
13, I
rad.
think. Yeah, I was 13. Yeah. And I was obsessed with the song Mob Scene, and I loved the music video, so there was that. And it was around the time where he just stopped dating Rose McGowan, I think. So I was obsessed with just the whole lifestyle. What? Who cares? It's amazing.
He's not thinking about that. He's imagining you rocking out to Marilyn Manson with your hair like that at age 13.
You're just
Well-
so cultured now and developed in such
What
a...
happened?
Wait. Is
So
this the moment that the glass was
Oh,
shattered
no,
and
the
you're no
illusion.
longer interested?
You weren't born, Reina?
Oh no.
You had to become that kind of
I
person?
had to become this.
Wow. Continue your story.
Now he's holding my hand. Okay, so what happened was it was my friend's birthday, and he brought us all to this concert in Sayreville, New Jersey. Starline Ballroom. Do you know where that is?
Of course I do.
Yeah, you do, baby.
Oh yeah, New Jersey. I've been there
Yeah,
too, totally.
New Jersey. So okay, it was the best because I was excited about it. I loved Marilyn Manson, and
He
it was
took
just.
you on stage and danced with you in front of everyone?
No, that's not what happened.
No,
But, I'm sorry, guys. But okay, I got to crowd surf. I'm sorry,
You got
babies.
to crowd surf?
Yes, I crowd
You're not
surfed.
part of the show.
I got to crowd surf for the first time, and what happened was.
First time it happened again?
Yeah, I crowd surfed twice. Okay, the first time was amazing. I got crowd surfed towards the front, and it was incredible. I got thrown right off in front of the stage or whatever. But this was the time where he was like putting water in his mouth, and then he started spitting on everybody.
Why would you go to this?
He spit on me, and that was.
And you were just like, greatest
Marilyn
moment of my
Manson
life.
I was like, no, I wanted to like it, but I was so grossed out by it that I was like, oh shit! And then so that
I
happened.
feel like so many
You know
future
what?
lesbians felt that way about their first experience.
Oh,
with
yeah.
I don't judge you. I want Childish Gambino to spit right in the back of my mouth.
Well-
I want it to go down my throat
Well, the
without
thing
me
is-
swallowing.
The thing is, I
But
think
continue.
some of it got on my lips, and I tried so hard not to lick my lips because I thought I would instantly get all the hepatitis.
You know he's got something.
every single hepatitis.
every single
So what I
You might
did
get
was.
snake disease. I'm sorry.
That's funny that you said
Snake
that.
disease.
I snaked my way back towards the back of the area where it was a little bit less crowded, but then someone picked me up again. But they thought I was someone else. Like they thought I was his girlfriend.
Because y'all all look the same.
Yeah, because we're out spiky hair.
When you
and
put enough
whatnot.
spikes on someone,
Yeah,
you all
we
look
do.
the same.
We do. And so he picked me up, and then he realized I wasn't his girlfriend, so he dropped me, but he dropped me behind him, and there was a mosh pit behind me. And
oh my God.
all of the sudden, I couldn't breathe because there were so many people just like rumbling around me that my friend, who is the birthday guy, he had to come running and get me, and he's like a pretty big dude, so he had to like pummel people around, grab me, and drag me out like this.
Oh my
And and when I came out, I was like crying and hyperventilating.
Oh my goodness.
That's why it was the best and the worst experience.
Damn.
What's
That was my
like-
first concert.
Where's
Goodness.
Will's first, best and worst concert? Go.
You know the answer to this. I've never been to a real concert.
Oh man, I hadn't been
What?
to a real concert
Yeah.
when I was like until I was like 18.
Yeah, I've never I'm not a big music person. I like songs.
Childish Gambino, baby.
I didn't start liking him till like a year or two ago.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And he did come here, and then Darren was like, "Oh, let's go," and I was like, "Oh, I'm poor right now," and then we didn't. But
Maybe you just don't like big crowds.
I mean, other than like at VidCon, does that count? Not really. I mean, but
that
was,
awkward prom.
That's cool. That prom that I went to
Is
with a
that
whole
not
bunch
what
of
you're
kids.
talking about?
There's a video on my Instagram from it where it's like these
You ever
kids.
feel like you belong?
Yeah,
Isn't that what it says?
it's so like I don't belong anywhere, especially with teenagers. But yeah, I know you've been to some.
I've been to some concerts. I mean, I was always like really pissy that I'd never been to a concert when I was a teenager. I'm like, this is why my life sucks. I've never been to a concert. And then best concert I've ever been to would probably, I've gotten to see some great concerts, would probably be Bruce Springsteen at the TD Bank North Garden.
Oh, the TD Bank North Garden in New Jersey.
Nope, Boston.
In Boston.
Not New Jersey.
I'm from
And you know, it was like on this tour where it was like Stump the greatest band in the world, and people had all these signs with like all these different songs from other bands. And basically the thing was he would just like grab a sign out of the crowd and just be like, pass it to the band director, and they'd get everybody sheet music if they needed it, and they would play songs that weren't theirs, just like
Wow,
that. So
impressive.
they played I Wanna Be Sedated.
That's cheap.
Yeah, which was rad.
Play your
and
own
then
music.
they played like 3 hours of their own music. It was a really long concert. And
I've
then
been
the
home after the
Dropkick
second
Murphys, who do that song, I'm shipping up to Boston, where?
Oh,
which was,
perfect.
yeah, which was like
Oh,
a
yeah,
big
that song.
Boston song. The lead guitarist proposed to his girlfriend on stage, and then the Dropkick Murphys came out and did like
dropkicked
3
them.
songs with the E Street Band. It was the greatest.
Wow.
Worst concert.
That sounds fun.
I went to this Mars Volta concert with some friends in college, and I don't like the Mars Volta. I went because
I made
they
a weird
invited
face
me.
when you said-
They invited me to a concert, and it was just really loud, and I didn't like the music. So about like 45 minutes in, I fucking left.
Just by
And-
yourself?
Yeah, I was just like, I don't want to be here. I'm gonna go. Which like I didn't realize at the time was like kind of rude.
I don't think it's rude. I think it's fine, man. Concerts are long.
Yeah, I just didn't want to stand there and listen to this loud fucking music for more hours. So I left, and I got a lot of shit from it from my friend who was just like, "That was really rude. It was really rude that you
butthurt.
left." You know, but like maybe I could have handled it better. But I was just like, "This isn't for me. I don't need to see more."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one.
So you got in an Uber and went home.
An Uber at that
There wasn't
time?
Uber
There
at
wasn't
that
Uber
age,
yet.
no.
Uber's new.
No, I walked home.
What?
Yeah.
That's shitty. Oh, I have
was in
one.
Boston. What?
I guess that makes sense. Boston's very walkable.
Boston.
Yeah.
By the way, I have one very strange concert experience that I must share. You know the band Fun? The band,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
The group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I went to go see a Panic at the Disco concert, and Fun opened for them before they were Fun, and I couldn't
They
hear
were
very
just
well.
boring.
Yeah, they were just
Yeah,
people.
back when they were shitty.
Right. And I thought their name was Thumb, like Thumb.
Thumb
It's when you
nights I
just
stay up, I could hit my green thumb. I got a black thumb as well. Continue.
Yeah.
That's when you were
So-
just learning English.
It was. I didn't understand English at all. So, and everyone went really silent in order to like start up their intro or whatever. And I was like, "What? Thumb?" And you can hear me. Everyone can hear me.
Really?
Yeah. And
That-
everyone looked at me.
That reminds-
What? Thumb?
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
That was me.
That reminds me-
Born 80 years old.
At my prom, they were closing down the prom, and then they were like, the DJ came on. He said, "All right, everybody, this is the last song," and it was completely quiet. And they were like, "Okay," they were accepting it as the last song. And then I said, I was way in the back. I was having a horrible time, and I said, "What?" And then everybody's like, "Man, what's going on?" And that's when I learned it's so easy to make people mad.
Oh, that's
it's
really
so
funny.
easy.
Everybody just needs one swift push.
Yeah, one person. All it takes
Yeah.
is one person to be like, "Hold on," and then everybody's mad.
Wait a minute.
That's how you start.
Madness.
every-
you got 1,000 songs in that iPod. You're not gonna play anymore. Why? Cause you lazy? All right,
Oh,
folks.
boy.
Thank you so much for watching Table Talk.
You were just doing
you
jangle
can
and change.
you can go. Jangle and
Yeah,
change.
you're.
You can go to the hashtag Table Talk on Twitter or Reddit/r/SourceFed to leave us topics brought to you by these dumb men. So
Yeah, I'm Reina Scully.
William Haynes.
That was fun. Everybody pet his head. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
I was in the void again. Now I'm out.